This version of the MAN TGX XXL heavy-duty tractor is specially produced by Conrad for the MAN shop. It comes in a standard Conrad box, but unusually it doesn't have the usual Conrad sticker on the box, giving the item description and model number. The inner packaging is a piece of foam rubber, and there's just the model and a small bag of parts, and there's no instructions or information about the real truck. So to start with, there's a few small pieces to fit to the tractor, and at the rear there's a second towing hitch because this is a heavy duty tractor, and that just simply pushes in at the back. Fitting the mirrors is typical for a Conrad model. The pieces come on a moulding and they need to be separated, so best use a sharp modelling knife to cleanly separate the parts, and then you can just begin to assemble them. This one has a slightly unusual configuration on one of the door mirrors. And when you've set that on, you can just put that into the holes in the cab, and then the mirrors, after a little bit of adjustment, are fitted onto the tractor. The only other bit of installation is to fit the two aerials into the cab roof, and if they don't fit straight off, it's best to trim a little bit off the ends using the modelling knife, and then you can push them in relatively easily and get a decent fit. With that done, the assembly is complete and we can look at the detail. Looking underneath, the steering isn't modelled for authenticity, it's modelled for functionality. There's no prop shaft between the engine and the rear axles, but the rear suspension is modelled quite well and the tyres have a good tread pattern. Up on top of the cab there is a couple of large beacon lights and an air conditioning unit, and the standard of graphics down the cab is quite good, and the lights have plastic lenses. Behind the cab, the exhaust pipe, the auxiliary rack and the stepping plate are all metal, so this is a very strong part of the model. The wheel arches are plastic and they look good, and the wheel hubs are shiny and smart. Yes, it's features time, so we'll give the tractor a run on the test surface and it rolls very smoothly. At the back, the two rear axles have quite a degree of movement, but it's not properly sprung suspension. The front two axles steer together and the range of movement's quite good. You can pose it with quite a hard lock, but when it's at a hard lock like that, the wheels won't turn because they're fouled by the wheel arches, so you need to put it on less of a lock to actually be able to push the model. The other usual feature that you would expect is for the cab to be able to tilt, and it does. You can tilt it forward and it does stay tilted forward, but somehow you feel like you want to push it further than it really wants to go, and you worry a bit that if you do push it hard, something's going to break inside. The supplied model is only a tractor, so let's put a trailer on it. This is a Conrad Goldhofer multi-axle trailer, and it just pushes into the fifth wheel, and it's a good fit, and so you get a combination there which matches the heavy duty nature of the tractor. You can try other trailers. An NZG trailer will probably fit, and I certainly have tried it with at least one. WSI kingpins are thin enough to go into the Conrad fifth wheel, but you might find some height differences. Anyway, with a suitable load on this Conrad trailer, then the combination looks pretty good. This MAN tractor model has all the hallmarks of a Conrad model. It's strong and well made, with enough interesting detail. The overall quality is pretty good, and it's recommended to anyone who likes MAN trucks.